Hi, sorry about the look. I'm doing distance learning at my computer, so hopefully we'll get back into a regular type of schedule one day. It's kind of it's an interesting process, isn't it? So I was asked to tell a little bit about myself. My name is Tina, and I am a high school English teacher at West High in Wichita, Kansas. I also am an adjunct at WSU Tech, where I teach Comp 1 and sometimes Comp 2. And I have been at the Wichita School District for 28 years, and with WSU, probably about 5 or 6, I can't really remember. And why did I start my career in education? Well, honestly, I love literature. I love writing and reading. And I also just think teenagers are fun. They're hilarious. They keep me young at heart. And it's just, their minds just are interesting to me about the things they think about. I could have any other job, honestly, probably a full-time writer. But before I became a teacher, I was studying marine biology, and I actually wanted to work with dolphins and a program where they worked with autistic children. And it was kind of cool because the dolphins would work with kids who were at a point where they wouldn't communicate well, but for some reason they would communicate with the dolphins. So I found that fascinating, which kind of led me towards going into just a full-time education because I love this subject so much. How are kids different? Well, I think their brains have adapted more quickly to technology. They're more eager to see how things work in that field, but also it can be rough sometimes with technology because when I was a teenager, whatever we did, was not recorded or put on social media. So that's one thing. Another is they tend to question things like, why do I have to do this in this certain way a little bit more than usual. When I was in school, we just kind of did what we were told, and we didn't question the teacher or have issues like that. We would just accept it. And I'm kind of glad that the kids today kind of question what they're learning and why. It's a good trait to have. You need to know why you're learning something. Was it different of teaching? Well, I don't know, about 30 years ago, because I've only been teaching 28, but I do know I could have a little bit more of a sense of humor and the kids would get it. But today we're in such a trauma type induced environment where our kids have been through so much that a lot of them, they have a different way of looking at things. We have to be really careful what we say and what we do more than usual because our kids are coming from some situations that probably weren't the best. And I teach in a high poverty school, so a lot of trauma-induced things that are going on there. So we have to be more aware and more differentiated learning. If you're going to become a teacher, you need to know that it's a career and a calling, that you are not going to go into thinking all kids want to learn. You have to somehow incorporate it where they find a love of learning, and that it's a day-by-day step. It's a challenge. It's always changing. It can be frustrating at times, but it also can be very rewarding in the end. And you may not see the difference you make, but eventually you will. I've received emails from students who are in their 40s now, early 40s, telling me about how much they appreciated the things that I did. And these are things I didn't even realize I was doing. So you do make a difference. So just know that. If I could change things to help kids learn better, I would change patience, because they're in such a technology-induced environment that answers are instantaneous on their smartphone or on the computer, that a lot of them just would rather get the answer that way instead of really trying to analyze and figure things out for themselves. So I want them to start learning to think for themselves and not just rely on this cold piece of metal to tell them what to think. And that's my concern, is creativity can be lost if it's not applied correctly, because technology is a wonderful thing, but it needs to be balanced out. So I hope all of you guys are doing great, and I hope you're healthy, and let's keep our fingers crossed that this will pass, and we'll start off the fall with a much better appreciation for things, and it's going to be interesting to see how this has affected our children. So good luck to you, and blessings. Have a good day. Bye.